Welcome to Avoiding Hiring Mistakes and Letting People Go the Right Way. Every founder will make a bad hire. The question is how you'll handle it with legal protection, the right timing, and humanity. This program is brought to you by the Series of Thoughts team. This episode is part of Module 5, Building Your Team, within our broader course, Starting Your Company. This is the fifth and final episode in the Building Your Team module, covering everything from your first hire to managing separations. In this episode, we'll cover both sides of the hiring equation. First, how to spot and avoid common hiring mistakes, and second, how to manage separations professionally and legally. We begin with hiring mistake pattern recognition. Before fixing a bad hire, you must recognize the patterns that created it. Most early-stage mistakes follow 5 predictable and avoidable paths. The 5 most expensive mistakes are hiring too fast, hiring friends out of loyalty, promoting prematurely, prioritizing credentials over capability, and falling into the brilliant jerk trap. The brilliant jerk trap is the hardest to act on. While they produce results, the collateral damage, like team morale and leader credibility loss, is invisible on a scorecard. Founders often ignore red flags in interviews. Be wary of excessive blame of previous employers, vague answers about past results, discomfort with ambiguity, or difficulty explaining simple concepts. The rule is, don't talk yourself into a hire. Build a structured debrief process and ask, if this person doesn't work out in 6 months, what's the signal we already saw today? Chapter 2 focuses on the true cost of a bad hire. Founders often underestimate this cost. The salary is just the beginning of the ledger. The full cost calculation includes direct costs like salary, recruiting fees, and severance, as well as hidden costs like management time diverted and team morale damage. The real number is significant. The total cost is 1.5-2x annual salary. Founders typically wait 6 months too long, and replacing a senior hire can cost 3x their salary. Founders wait too long due to internal narratives like, maybe they'll turn it around. It would be too disruptive right now. What will the team think? And we need them for this launch. Chapter 3, Termination Process Walkthrough. Once the decision is made, execution matters for the person leaving, the remaining team, and your company's legal exposure. At-will employment means either party can end the relationship anytime, for any reason. However, it doesn't mean immunity from wrongful termination claims based on protected class or retaliation. Always consult employment counsel first. Performance improvement plans, or PIPs, are formal tools for documenting issues. A genuine PIP has specific, measurable issues, a realistic timeline, and resources to support improvement. Most early-stage company PIPs are documentation, meaning the decision to terminate has already been made. To be effective, a PIP must include 5 key elements: specific performance gaps, measurable success criteria, a clear timeline and check-ins, the support offered, and clearly stated consequences. Vague PIPs protect no one. The termination conversation is a step-by-step process. First, open clearly and state the decision in the first 30 seconds. Next, keep it brief, direct, and humane. Prepare thoroughly beforehand. And finally, close with next steps like severance and the communication plan. What you say matters. Use direct language like, we've made the decision to end your employment, effective today. Avoid statements that soften the decision or suggest things could have been different. Never say the employee was not a culture fit, as it can be legally dangerous. Consider who should be in the room. The decision maker leads the conversation. An HR or legal representative should be present to witness and handle administrative steps. No one else, such as peers or teammates, should be involved. Timing matters. Aim for early in the week and day. Let's discuss severance, when you must and when you should offer it. Severance is legally required under certain conditions, such as the WARN Act or specific state laws, or if an employment contract mandates it. Severance is also strategically smart for decent performers who aren't a fit, or when seeking assigned release of claims. The early stage standard is typically 2 to 4 weeks per year of service for individual contributors, contingent on signing a separation agreement. The WARN Act requires 60 days advance written notice for plant closings or mass layoffs at companies with 100 or more full-time employees. Violations can lead to significant back pay and civil penalties, making compliance crucial. Chapter 4 covers the legal protection checklist. What happens before, during, and after termination determines your legal exposure and team health. How you communicate a departure to the team is critical for maintaining trust. Be prompt. telling the team the same day or next morning. Silence allows rumors to spread. Keep the team communication brief and professional, such as, "Name is no longer with the company. We wish them well." Protect the person's privacy by never sharing performance details. Hold space for questions, focusing on the team's future. The offboarding checklist is where legal risk often hides. For systems and access, revoke access immediately and audit activity. For documentation, secure a signed separation and release agreement and remind them of confidentiality obligations. Have a clear written policy for equipment return, documenting all items and serial numbers. Adopt a neutral reference policy, confirming only the title, dates of employment, and rehire eligibility. Consistency is key to avoiding legal claims. Non-disparagement agreements restrict public negative statements from both parties. They're useful, especially for senior hires, but they do not cover truthful statements to government agencies or protected legal activity. They are one layer of protection in a broader strategy. Protect remaining team members by immediately redistributing work to manage anxiety. Acknowledge the human element with brief check-ins, and reinforce stability by being visible and focused on the future. Your actions set the standard for leadership. Here are some critical resources and legal references. Always consult with qualified employment counsel before making any significant hiring or termination decision. Federal laws like the WARN Act, Title VII, ADA, ADEA, and FMLA, along with specific state considerations like those in California, New York, and Montana, all affect the employment landscape.